We are live. Twitch is good. Facebook is good. Wish I could say my voice is good. Let's see what else we got. It looks like we're up on Facebook now. And YouTube looks good. When Instagram works, it usually takes a minute anyway, so we'll find that out too. How's everybody doing today? We got some interesting news this evening coming across. I haven't seen a lot of talk about it on Facebook yet. A little bit, but not quite as much as I've seen on Twitter. It's, I don't know. I want to say it's good news. I know it's probably not good news for me. But I think it's good news for the hobby. And as I say, I'm always going to take my feelings out of things. Something amazing happened today that will revolutionize the way trading cards look. Topps was channeling its inner 90s. I think it was feeling like a bratty teenager in the 90s, listening to Nine Inch Nails. And it just heard the lyrics, bow down before the one you serve. You're going to get what you deserve. Let's face it, Fanatics owned Topps from the minute they took the license out without them even realizing that the licenses should have been negotiated by this point. Hey, Viz, how's it going? We're going to be doing a little break here in a few minutes. I like to have fun with our breaks and talk sports and all that good stuff, talk about the hobby. So in addition to doing a break with 2 boxes of Onyx Premium, 1 TriStar Platinum Baseball, and 2 boxes of BOWMAN Draft Jumbo, we're also going to be looking at the purchase that Fanatics made. Purchase is that? Well, they bought themselves Topps. They said all along their plan was never to put the Fanatics name on trading cards. And this is something that, I personally from day one saw that this was a very likely scenario. And that if one company went down, this was going to be the first one to do it. Yeah, I agree. Now, it's the worst thing that could have happened to me, to the hobby shops out there. Screw the distributors because they've screwed us for the last 3 years, but it's bad for them too. But I honestly think that as far as, for anybody who collects baseball cards, today is a huge victory. Huge victory. I wouldn't want to see Topps go away either. Let's face it, Topps or no Topps, there's still a lot of questions about where the hobby is going to go as far as the LCS. And it's a shame because just like Tops is a synonymous thing, hobby shops are also important to the hobby, I feel. And I guess I'm not going to. I was going to make an announcement during the Slabber Knocker, the rebreak, right? Still working on that. We had some issues today. We were out of power for most of the day. Had like I wouldn't say a freak snowstorm because we knew about it yesterday, but you try getting all these townships around here, ready to go for a storm that gives you only 24 hours notice and dumps, up to a foot of snow in some places here. The day yesterday, it was 60 degrees when I drove Lexi to her softball tournament. So we went from 60 degrees to near blizzard conditions for a few hours. That'll keep everybody healthy. Must be climate change. I don't know. I'm getting my Facebook stuff set up here. So we are on my timeline in the group. So yeah, during the break, we're going to talk a little bit about Fanatics and what this could mean. All right. There's a lot of different ways this can go. And I don't know. I think I've been, other than the fact that it happened way sooner than I thought it was going to, I thought we might be talking about this like summertime, fall. So you got to wonder if from the very beginning, like from day one, did Tops hit the panic button and did they go immediately into negotiations? And I think they probably did because, again, we talked about it when the news broke that Fanatics was getting all those licenses and there was some mismatching of dates and stuff. I said, Fanatics is going to have the player's license. Tops was kind of grandfathered in so that they did not need to go through the MLBPA and that they could still go through players individually because that's how their business model went for so long. So it was going to be interesting to see what happened in 2023. I figured that's when, getting close to 2023, that's when Tops was going to push the button and be like, all right, we're boxed into a corner, especially after losing the WWE license. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to tell me tomorrow, hey, those cases of Bowman's Best and all the Undisputed and all that stuff. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. It's not going to be that quick. I honestly think I still have until the end of the year. And I guess that's a good thing because that's how long the lease is going to be for my new store. We are going to be opening a shop for the second time. We did in 2014, really even before we started breaking online. And we started the breaks in the shop. And then life happens, and it wasn't even, the store wasn't a failure. Life happens. I had my identity stolen. I lost the full-time job that I had at the time that I had depended on the time to support the business growth. And then we just kind of had to, take a little detour. I was a mailman for a year, and that gave me enough time where I was able to get enough eyeballs on Facebook and, make this a full-time thing for me. And now, well, not now, but like literally in late February of 2020, I was looking at places and I was down to a couple choices that I wanted to see if I could negotiate with. And then the world stopped. And I was like, whoa, not time for a store. And New Jersey's one of those states that it's kind of, it's not quite America anymore around here. I don't know. I know everybody's got their opinions, but my opinion was it wasn't a good time to open up a store. But you also, you know, sometimes the windows of opportunity, you wait too long and they pass. And I said, you know what? The time is now. Fanatics is going to take over everything in a few years. And, you know, my store isn't exactly just strictly trading cards, although when I operated the store, it was probably about, I would say about 70% of the business. And this is before the craze and everything like that. Like, initially when I opened the shop, my online business, no lie, was 90% CDs, movies, and video games. And that's why Marc-Down Entertainment is such a weird name. Well, it's going away. Not on paper per se. It's still the name of my company. But I think we're going to go with Marc-Down Collectibles for the store. And, you know, lots of things are collectible. I'm hoping that, I mean, I've always been an adapter. I've always been a little bit different and not narrow-minded, not one-dimensional. So just like when all the contacts went away for the CDs and movies that I used to get, and we made it into, you know, mostly sports cards and memorabilia, I'm sure if there's adaptations to be made, we'll figure it out. But I don't think the Fanatics deal ends Breakers. It just puts everybody on the same playing field. Some with deeper pockets. And on certain products, no matter what Fanatics tries to do, if they keep the same models that Topps has right now, all right, and even looking at comparable to Panini and all that, if there's a product with a limited print line and we're already snatching it all up, guess what? It's probably the bots that you're going to have to worry about more than anything else. Direct to consumer, you know? So in the end, it might actually be something that helps out, you know, because I mean, look at, Panini allocations for guys like me who used to get 5 cases, and now I get 1 box. Maybe something changes. And I think there's a lot of money in the hobby right now that, you know, kind of greasing the palms a little bit. I know how business works. I never had the money to be the palm greasy guy, right? I'm always a negotiator. But some of those guys, they're going to run. They are going to run out of the business. And if demand goes down, then, you know, prices may follow. Although if you look at, and hey, Fanatics, if you know, any business you want to do with me, I'm always looking to talk. But if you look at their website and you look at the prices of what they're selling things, are they selling things for less than everybody else or more? So let's It'd be interesting. I don't know about 80s retro toys, but I got a ton of wrestling figures. I've got like the what is it? Something Dragons baseball stuff back there. You know, that stuff's just been sitting there forever when I was hoping to reopen. I probably will go through like a toy distributor like an Entertainment Earth or something like that to kind of stock that stuff out, you know. But let's get started with roll call. We have obviously some things to talk about, and we'll get this show on the road because I'm sure some people want to go to sleep at some point. Not me. I'll be sorting breaks because I didn't get to do that all day. Lunchtime, the power went out for the second time of the day, and finally, I'm just like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to order like Chinese food tonight. And 10 minutes after we put our order, then the power goes back on. And we just finished shoveling through the driveway when the delivery came in. So I was like, okay, that's just the way the day's going. All right, roll call time. Here we go. Steve Marone, John Wright, Brian McCall, Melissa Marin, Michael Coleman, Michael Kelly, Joe Wester, Gail Anderson. I see John McClellan picked up the Astros here. So the Astros are now gone. I'll tell you what teams remain in just a second if you're not watching on Drip. But at this point, you do have to jump on here to buy them because that's just a fair thing to do. I'm trying to bring up the sales on here. You'll be on YouTube. Okay, when my phone is stop messaging people, then I'll get to that point where I'll get YouTube on here too. But right now, I can see comments on Facebook and I see comments on Drip. Let's see. Gail Anderson is, I don't know if he's here. Gail Anderson, Joseph Profeta, Kevin Chaparro, I see is on here. What's going on? Peter Strawn, Don Lieneman, and I see Mike DeFreitas is here. So let me send out these messages. And remaining teams. Oh, boy. We got $95. Got a few first rounders for the Reds. They had the one compensatory pick. They had the I always forget the name of it. The picks for the low market teams, whatever they call them. I'm drawing a blank. I'm tired today. Me and my wife shoveled the driveway in like 30 minutes so we could get the delivery guy in. So, no, Harry Ford's the Pirates. Pirates first overall pick. That's why the Pirates are 150. Nationals are 45. They have Brady House. Henry Davis. No, Harry Ford's the Mariners. I'm sorry. Harry Ford's the other catcher. My apologies. Harry Ford's the Mariners. Let me see here. Who is the Reds? Got my cheat sheets. Jay Allen and Matthew Nelson. So whoever the actual first round pick was, they sandbagged him for BOWMAN. I forget. Now you're making me wonder. MLB draft. Who was the Reds' first pick? Matt McLean is who we'll see in Bowman 2022. Yes, thank you, Zane. Much appreciated. Matt McLean. Couldn't remember. Shortstop from UCLA. That's where Lexi says she wants to go to college because they got the second best softball program in the nation. So Fanatics, please don't mess that up. Although we probably wouldn't be okay with her going to UCLA. No offense. How do you get to my drip? So are you watching on a tablet or on a phone? If you're watching on a phone, hit at the bottom where it says overview. If you're watching on a tablet or a computer, on the title bar, there is a link right there that'll take you directly to the drip shop. Yippee-ki-yay. I'm thinking that was the reference you were making. It's the reference I'm making. Why not? Oh, the break down there. I'll show you what's in the break again. It's a little bit of a mixer. So we have a TriStar Platinum Baseball, 2 boxes of Onyx Premium. Had a huge hit out of these the other day. Huge hit. Shohei Ohtani autograph, number /20. And then 2 boxes of Bowman Draft. So there's a few things kind of in there to keep things interesting and balance things out for some other teams, you know. Not only do you have the number 1 pick for the Pirates, but you also have the chase in TriStar Platinum. And that would be a Roberto Clemente baseball. It's a grand treasure. Looks like a multi-signed ball. So like a partial team ball. That wouldn't be too bad, right? Twinning effect would be cool, yeah. Twinning effect is what I call it when you have Topps cases. A lot of times you'll have a base and a parallel of usually 1, sometimes 2 guys in a lot of sets. Especially the Bowman ones. So, all right. So back to messaging. Links out to those who haven't responded back, and I'm seeing everybody here on Facebook too. So you're here. You are not. I don't remember if you're here, so I'll send you a link. You are here. So yeah, if you're watching on the phone, hit overview, and then it'll give you like the title bar. And you just hit that link there. Drip sets it up automatically. So again, we have a few teams remaining. Again, the thing we're doing here for Drip is I'm giving you content. I'm giving you the opportunity to get into some breaks that we had already started filling. And if you don't want to get in right now, that's fine. Just take a watch here. Again, I try to do this not just as a break, and you know, I like to interact. So definitely feel free to make comments. You don't have to pay to make comments. All right, I like this. But we'll give you the opportunity to see how we do things around here. And if you like it, you can buy in on the next one. I'm sure we're going to have hopefully part 3 and part 4 to this Bowman Draft Mixer. I just keep going for those who are case committed. And as long as, you know, like 15 of the teams are still filled tomorrow, then we'll keep filling it until we can run it. And as you see at the bottom of the screen here, I don't need to be completely sold out to run a break. I also do shows. So, I get some pretty decent leftovers, right? I still got people messaging me about that Contenders Joe Burrow rookie ticket stub auto. It'll go. It may not even go this year, but he's going to be I think a good long-term quarterback for the Bengals. Much better than freaking Daniel Jones, but so Michael Kelly's here. Why can't I hate the comments on Facebook? Seriously, why don't they ever try to make something better on Facebook? That's why I'm here on Drip. They've done so much worse on there for me, and I want to do this the fun way. All right, I think you're here, but yep, you're here. Okay. And I'll just make the generic plunge here into the group text. For those of you on Facebook, you want to get the notifications a little bit better, we got a group chat through Messenger. Hey, man, you got it. Follow us on here. Take a look at what we're doing right now. And, if you like, then we got more breaks coming. I've been doing this for 7.5 years. All right. This is my full-time thing. I do shows from New York to Florida. I'm in New Jersey, but I'll go down to Florida. I'm considering Texas at some point this year, although I'm a little nervous about the Tops news, which we're about to get started here. And we've gone as far west as Chicago for the Nationals. The last 2 Nationals in Chicago, with the exception of this past one. They kind of cut my allocation on time, too. They wouldn't give me a full-time spot. Not driving 18 hours, can't do my full setup. Sorry. Maybe not sorry. I know whatever is going to happen business-wise to Fanatics, there's probably going to be a decent way to adapt. They're probably going to have a tougher time, although they got deep pockets, so you never know. I mean, they've been robbing hobby shop owners that aren't as big blind for the last 3 years. Let's face it. But so here's the deal. You can actually watch a little bit of the break and still jump in. The thing that where we cut you off is the first hit. Once we show the first hit, oh, you need an original? You want a game used one? I got some of the old white ones. Thing is, I was an extra large, and now I'm kind of crept into the 2XL range. I have smaller sizes actually still available. I just don't have anything extra large or larger anymore. But 2XL, maybe I'll do one more run of these. I don't know. All right. So again, until we show the first hit, you can still buy in. Reds, 95. Nationals, 45. Brewers, 75. Phillies, 7. And the Pirates are 150. But I would love to try the Dallas Card Show. I just got to figure a point where it would mesh with what I'm doing. And I kind of get nervous that I might, like, I go down to Tampa. The first show, I was like the king of hobby wax. The second show, I was still the king of hobby wax, but there was definitely some others that had some pretty decent setups as well. But the question is, do they come back for the third one? So I'm still figuring out my schedule. I'm just trying to pull up YouTube on my phone in case we got any comments on there. So just bear with me 1 second. Going a little slow. Yep, there I am. And yep, there's an advertisement for adult entertainment already. Okay, we're on YouTube. Might be, yeah. I don't know, because with the fact that, again, if you're just joining us, I did kind of announce we're planning on reopening a brick and mortar store. Well, at least we can start pumping out the hockey, right? Upper Deck secured their license. So unless they're selling out, did they do it so that they could get a better price? I don't know. I don't think they did. They got Marvel too. You know, I think that's a bigger market than a lot of us give credit for. Do I have a Facebook breakup? A football breakup? Not yet. So I've been dealing with a bunch of things. You know, people in the house were sick. And we had the holidays. So that was kind of sandwiched in between. Lexi had a tournament yesterday. Very impressive showing. They tied for first place. Trent DeVoe, Angels, with a little sparkle there. And I guess the other team had players that lived like 2 hours away. So time expired. Technically, it wasn't a full game yet because there was time limits, but it was a championship game. So we actually finished a 6-inning game, and we were still tied 1-1. And this is probably a team. This is a good one for Seattle. Guy we were just talking about, Harry Ford. Not to be confused with Han Solo. But Harry Ford, we got him on a refractor. That's not too shabby. Oops. That is a thick one for the autographs. Here we go. So, so they ended up tying, but good performance overall. Lexi made a web gem. She leapt up, caught the ball, and doubled a girl off second. For 10U, very good execution. So Marco Luciano, 93 out of 99. So going back to the store thing, I haven't signed a lease yet. By the way, Joseph, there's going to be 2 football breaks that are pretty much planned out. One of them will have 1 box of Spectra. That's all they gave me this year. I still have boxes of it left over from last year, but we only got 1 for this year. Ryan Cusick, Genesis. All right, that first hit's going to come out in just a second. So if you haven't bought in and you're thinking, yeah, I want to get in, tell me now. You can purchase the teams right through the drip shop. They're all set up and ready to go, but they ain't lasting for much longer here. We're almost to that first autograph. Third overall pick, Jackson Jobe for Detroit Rock City. That's another decent refractor there. We'll take that. But yeah, the first break that I have planned for football is going to have Illusions and Classics. And then we got one planned with Spectra and another product to be determined. I don't know. Everything's so behind and out of whack right now. And then there's stuff that's out, but it's just not making its way to where it's supposed to be. So I guess the Fanatics logistics will be an improvement, right? Tristan Casas. So Jackson Wolf. And when I do a break, I seen this debate coming up a lot. All right. When I do a break, I always ship all cards. Always. None of this, well, you're not getting the Bowman paper. What do you mean? I like some PSA 10 Bowman paper, Vlad Juniors and Wander Francos and Adley Rutschmans. I actually have one PSA 10 like that. I wouldn't mind those. I'm sure you wouldn't either, so why should I keep them? We'll also sleeve all the Bowman Chrome firsts. Doesn't matter if they're a good one or a bad one. All right, that autograph's about to come out. But first, this is what the second rounder for the Twins. Pitcher Steven Hajar. That's our second orange out of the case. We had, what's his name for the Cubs? Is it Christian Hernandez the other day? So he wasn't a first Bowman, but that's still like a Boku Bucks card. And now we got another orange, 15 out of 25 for the Twinkies. Steven Hajar. All right, here comes hit number one for the Blue Jays, Ricky Tiedemann. So third rounder, 91st overall. Ricky Tiedemann for Toronto. Malcolm Nunez. Isaac Pacheco. Oh, after shoveling snow, I definitely have some swelling back right here. Just a little bit of swelling. Joe Mack. And there's the first stack right there. Where did I put the empty box? There it is. Yep. So there you go. First auto. So give me 2 seconds. We're going to take the remaining teams down. If anybody's looking for rip and ships later, let me know. We got like 250 products in stock. So even if Fanatics starts digging into whatever allocated product we get, at the very least, we got some stuff in reserve. Oh, yeah, very cool. No, Nimbus we sold out of. I'm surprised we haven't sold out of some of the other Onyx that we've gotten, but Nimbus we sold out of. Now I didn't go for 4 cases of it like I usually do on Onyx, so that was probably my mistake there. I only went for 2 because I thought it was starting to get overkill. A printing plate in 6 out of 8 boxes. Wow. Yeah, sometimes these tops, it's almost like they kind of stop caring sometimes. I was a couple years ago, I forget whether it was triple threads or tier 1 or something like that. Somebody had a case with like 11 one-of-ones in it. It was insane. Well, that's not exactly twinning, but I got an interesting one in here. Oh wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I did my 3 packs. So Nimbus I don't have, but I literally have almost everything else Onyx did from 2020 and 2021 so far, including the football and the basketball. There's Jordan Lawler. So I've talked a little bit about the fact that we're going to be reopening a store. I'm very excited for that. What's the store going to be like? Well, it's not going to be like the one I had before. I was in a strip mall before. And I needed something a little bit different because of the way we do things around here. We're a hybrid, right? And I don't have a home office. That's also a little bit rough. So what I did was I got a place that's going to have a good floor space. We'll have enough room to display things. When we do video content, you know, there'll be plenty of stuff to look at. And it'll be way more organized than it is right now. My massive singles backlog that goes all the way back to when we had the store. Stuff, you know, a lot of stuff from like, you know, end of the 2000s, like 2007, 8, 9, you know, all the way to 2015. That's just been chilling in boxes. Some good stuff. Probably some stuff we're going to be able to get graded too. Too bad we couldn't do it at $8 a pop, right? That's going to be a lot more accessible. We'll be able to show off the toys and things like that. But I'm going to have an office. Like a legit office-size office. Because this is what the place used to be. It was an insurance office. So I'll have a legit office. I put the wrong picture in here. Oops. Let me put the right one in. There we go. I'm getting the video done from the first break. I was going to do that in the afternoon, but we had no power. So just get that done real quick. So that is in the Marc-Down group. And that is done. That video should be up in a couple minutes. No comments on YouTube, so I'm going to switch over on my phone to Twitch here since I have it in my hand. The Florida show was Collectors Con. All right, we got me live. That's the stream manager. There's a live feed. I have a viewer on there. Hello, Twitch viewer. It was in Tampa at the Tampa Bay Convention Center. So like about 15 minutes away from where the Bucks play. Who was there last time? Randy Arozarena was the main sports guy. Hopefully they build up a bigger autograph list. There's Henry Davis. No, we're just getting started here. We only had one autograph shown before, so we're just getting it started. Got a lot of chatter going on about, well, we're starting off with talking about how we're reopening the shop. The plan is for February 1st or close to it to be able to be open to the public. They gave me a 2-week window, which is perfect to move in, because we will be January 15th and 16th at the Westchester Marriott in New York, doing their big show there. Lots of big signers, CC Sabathia, Don Mattingly, and a whole bunch of others. They're having it's not like Black Friday where they had a smaller selection. They got the full autograph thing going on there. There was a coin show that was scheduled for that same day. So they didn't have all of the conference rooms. The hotel has a lot of them. There's Marcelo Mayer. Hopefully I can get a few Marcelo Mayer cards on hand. Did Harry Ford hit? No, he didn't hit, but we got a good start on him. We did get a refractor. So, I mean, it's not a hit, but it's not a bad thing to start off with either. Some would call that a hit. I don't know. I'm trying to get a little more into the Twitter thing. Again, Facebook, it's been kind of tough getting views. So trying to get some attention on Twitter, and already got myself into a Twitter fight again. So okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to. We're at MarcDownBreaks on Twitter too. Yeah, my daughter has been helping me at shows. Twins, Steven Hajar again. This time, 79 out of 99. So straight green auto on the Chrome. And thanks for the follow, Zane. So we won't delve into the rookie card debate for Bowman's best today, unless somebody really wants to discuss it. But yeah, somebody didn't like my opinion. Ooh, there we go. Benny Montgomery for the Rockies. We're getting some nice refractors today. Yeah, definitely, sure thing. I know I've been on. I think the first show we were on a couple YouTube videos. Again, I know we had the biggest wax selection, like hands down at the first show, and then at the second show, I was still. I think I would still say I was the hobby king, but there was a few bigger dealers there with some wax too. Word gets around, I guess. But it's nice when you can go to a bigger show and be like a top dog. Let's see. So yeah, and there's a third room in the store, and it's going to be a studio. Ooh, that's another nice one. I like this. This box is doing pretty nicely here with the refractors. I'll say that right now. So we will actually have a studio to broadcast out of. So, I mean, I'm going to kind of miss the Kitchen Cooks with Love sign showing up there. home office, pants optional. I guess you can't do that when you're not in a home office. Not that this is a home office, trust me. I got a cabinet, and I use this table partially. But yeah, so that'll be able to house the entire Marc-Down empire. So I'm thinking the store becomes Marc-Down Collectibles, and we brand us as MarcDownBreaks. Which means I'll be having to pay somebody to do some touches up on the logo a little bit. First time in a long time we'll be changing that. I mean, that logo was born with the store. But could do that. Or we could hang up some cool stuff in the background. I was thinking of designing something fun. Brooks Gosween. That sounds like a health condition, but it's a pitching prospect. Got a case of Gosween. Does it hurt when you pee? No. She'll be making fun of the poor guy. Joe Mack. Manzardo. Yeah, there's still some touches to work on. But I think for the store's sake, I don't want people asking about like renting out a DJ. And I'll be like, yeah, you're kind of in the wrong place. So, Luis Rodriguez. Austin Martin with an aqua. So now I'm going into this big venture. And I'm getting notifications blowing up from a few of the things that I have set. And I see Fanatics to purchase tops. And I got to say, I got mixed feelings about it. Yeah, Twins should definitely be happy with it. Not just the Twins, though. There's some good refractors coming. Marcelo Mayer. Now we can add to the list. That's 10s with refractors in this box. And then the Twins pitcher got a color auto and an orange chrome. Gotta like that. And there's more to come. Boy, that was a surprise in the last box. The last break, I'm sorry. We were opening the Onyx Premium. You know, we expect good stuff from Onyx. We've been using their stuff since 2015. Lots of cool stuff coming out of the Onyx boxes. But I did not expect to hit that Shohei Ohtani out of 20. That was an awesome hit for a team that really didn't have a lot in Bowman draft. So they weren't very pricey at all to get. Yeah, the regular ones are like 50-ish. Baseball usually, you know, depending on where the market's at, you're looking at a retail of about 45 to 55. The premium ones go for about $10 more. So I think I got them at 65 shipped. But from what we've opened so far, they've been awesome. We've gotten some low numbered stuff. Who was the guy? Oh yeah, we got Marcelo Mayer numbered to 5 with an inscription. This is the same case. I only got one. They only give me one case of the premium. They usually give me like 3 or 4 of the others. Another top 10 refractor. Colton Cowser. 4 of the top 10 have had refractors out of this box. So good for the Twins, but they're spreading the love here too. And we got 3 more packs to open, so definitely getting a good cut here. Was the Henry Davis inscribed? Might be. So, yeah, taxi calls. Oh, I love Cinco de Mayo. Just for that video. I wish the quality of the video was better, but the conversation was priceless on the taxi video. Yeah, Topps basketball and football, like you can pretty much 100% count them back in. The only problem is as far as like they're going to have to go the Panini route for baseball for a little while. You know, like Panini does unlicensed with baseball. And you know, what could have been a hint that Topps was going in this direction was the Dirk Nowitzki autograph Chrome that they showed a picture of. Whatever it's going to be released as, I don't think has been released yet. But they kind of gave a hint that they were heading back and they were doing some sort of a Chrome thing for basketball. And I think that's what's going on is I don't know if they've already had some talks with Fanatics going on for a while or if they were trying to show like this is what we can do for you. You know, they don't want if they're going to sell, they don't want the price to be low, right? Topps didn't sell that long ago. What was it, like 10, 15 years? Oh, here we go. That's another decent parallel. Originally, well, not originally, but recently it had been publicly traded, and they were setting it up to be again with that SPAC deal that fell through because of what Fanatics did with the licensing. Yeah, that'll be done. Now, you know, Leaf gets individual players. I mean, it doesn't have to be over for Panini. Not by a long shot. Doesn't have to be over for Panini. If anything, you know, what we think of Panini is really just Panini America. They definitely have a global footprint. So you can't just say, Panini's only been around 10 years. They're small. You know, no big deal. Cal Conley, purple. Numbered 53 out of 250. Panini, actually, I think the company as a whole is worth more than Topps is. Oh, yeah, Onyx is definitely fire. That's why I always go big on Onyx. You know, I probably get about, close to 2% of the cases. I love Onyx. And I don't want to use the word filler, but it's a good way to pump more autographs into mixers. Thus, like what I did here. I have a case of Onyx Futura sitting in the back right now. A case of the 2020. I have tried to put them in breaks, but people don't know what they are. Obviously, you do. I've been tempted to open one of the boxes and just show it off, pick up the case. The Trout lifetime deal is actually even better if you want to look at it that way. Yeah, it's good. It's not going to be like the Upper Deck with Michael Jordan and you can't make basketball cards. Henry Davis, 38 out of 250. All right, it is an insert, but it's still a refractor. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to dig that. That's somewhere deep in the yeah, am I able to do that through Drip? So yeah, I can dig it out. It's an odd shaped box, so I know what it looks like. Okay. Got Kai Bush. Futera. So Futera is its own brand, I think. And I think they're known for soccer stuff. And they collaborated with Onyx to do a higher end product. And I mean, you got guys like Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson and Ichiro and Derek Jeter in the product. It's very limited. And it honestly, a few years ago, the product kind of tanked just because I guess people didn't get it. I didn't really follow other people selling it last year, but I'm like, I'm still going to get a case. I kind of was afraid to pull the trigger. Was 2019 the first year they did it or 2018? I can't remember. I think it was 2019. I think it was at the Chicago National they were showing them off. So, yeah, just most Onyx is primarily prospects, but very low numbered stuff. They got like framed cards and like major relic pieces. Like you don't see any of the relics in there. You know, I think they got like pieces of baseball signed. So, you know, it's a fun product. I've tried to sneak it into a few of the past, present, future mixers that we tried posting, but we didn't have a lot of luck with those in 2021. Oh, you got the Onyx Tatis auto? Awesome. So, oh yeah, Yiddy Cappy was like what he was one of the top 5 international prospects for last year. And that's the thing with Onyx. They're usually really good at finding the top international prospects and getting them signed, right? Getting them signing early. You know, we didn't here's an autograph. Indians, Gavin Williams, 9 out of 250, class of 2021. So a third autograph goes to the Indians. That was one of the last teams picked up just before the Astros got picked up when we went live. You know, we were opening the baseballs that they do. They're very, very good baseball product they have with a lot of prospects. I hope that comes back because they didn't do it in 20. Did they do it? No, they didn't do it in 2021. They did it in 2020 because it was a January or February release. It was right in the beginning of the year before the pandemic happened. And they didn't do it last year, and I hope they bring it back this year. So, very cool. All about that base, about that base. Yeah, that was actually one of the things I pushed. I tried putting it through a few times, and nobody bid on it. So the case is open but intact. Never Never saw the light of day yet. So, yeah, I can't remember. My Instagram, right here, Marc-Down Entertainment. So, and then what we'll do is we'll I guess since I saw you on Drip, I'll load it into the Drip Shop, and we'll do a break of it sometime. Cooper Kitty. And there's our Invicta. That's not a bad one there for the White Sox. Yoelqui Cespedes. So White Sox, Invicta, Yoelqui Cespedes. I love the fact that they got this one per box thick border card. I like it. Jordan Lawler, Genesis. Gunnar Henderson. And Christian Encarnacion Strand. Just one more card for the Twins there. Why not? About that base. So now, you know, we do a lot of Onyx. We do a lot of Leaf. I don't think Fanatics is going to hurt that stuff. I just hope that the distributors don't screw us even further. And there's Onyx Premium coming up with a box right now. I hope they don't screw us further. And, well, we can't give the big boys tops anymore. So we're gonna give them some of the other stuff because they'll take what they can get at this point. Yeah. Like, does this Twitch thing work? Nobody talking on Twitch either, so I'm going to, I'll just stay live on there, whatever. So, yeah, definitely. Word of mouth is best friend. Always. All right, who do we got here? Do we got more crazy stuff coming out of Onyx today? Oh, yes, we do. 92 out of 100, Adley Rutschman. So you got the top pick of 2020. And then 27 out of 50. Top pick of 2021. Good hitting catchers are always going to get attention. It's on card. It's Onyx. They don't ever do sticker. You know, Leaf does some sticker, but Onyx doesn't ever do sticker. I can't remember ever seeing a sticker on Onyx. It's the only reason they do the redemption cards. So Orioles, they were a later in the afternoon pick. The Tatis sticker, really? I guess they must have not been able to get him in person. I've never seen an Onyx sticker, but I guess they're out there. Excuse me. So, Pirates. That's me. Look at that. I got one. Henry Davis, number to 50. I like it. But I miss the game-used batting gloves, too. I understand why they didn't do that in 2021 because there was no minor league season in 2020. I hope that they can do that this year. Very much so. All right, so let's do it like we did last time. TriStar Ball. Again, our current precedents show what we do on these. What do we got here? Oh, there's a Tatis. Oh, yeah, that is a sticker. I recommend they don't do stickers anymore. They don't look as good. I feel like they actually just got clear stickers and not, created their own thing. Oh. Yeah, well, I mean that generally happens with stickers. That's what I don't like about them. I don't mind if a sticker's signed, but I don't want it to be cut off either, because then obviously that hurts it. I had a Trammell glove. What's the best glove we hit? It was a Yankee. I think it was Gleyber Torres gloves, and we've hit some other good ones. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been too long. So if it's a current player, obviously it'll go to the current team. Retired players, while there are some exceptions such as World Series baseball or team-specific inscription, not career-specific, so not MVP or Rookie of the Year or something like that. But like, for example, we've had the team name mentioned in a inscription before, so therefore it went to that team. We've also had it where the team logo was on a baseball, a 24 karat baseball, so obviously it went to that team then. Even like we had We Are Family, that was the 78 Pirates, so it kind of made sense that went to the Pirates because that was their specific gimmick that they had going. But in general, if it's a retired player, it'll get randomized between any team that player played for at least parts of 3 seasons or more. Last one was easy. The guy played that team his whole career, so hopefully we get another easy one. Remember back in the day when people just used to play on one team for years and then never go anywhere else? The money ain't there anymore, though. I wouldn't say unheard of. I mean, Derek Jeter recently did it. You got guys. Oh, look at this. Oh. Oh, crap. This is a tough one. This has never happened before. Yeah, I do other sports. Baseball is what they give me most of. Look at this. We never see something like this happen. I gotta look up something. We've had players. We've had managers. This is the first time we've had a broadcaster. Now, there is one team this broadcaster is very famous for. So the question is, do we go with that? Or do we just random it off amongst all teams? I mean, this guy didn't just call baseball either. Son of a bitch. It's not Bob Uecker. I don't know. Do we? Well, that's the thing. He was most known for one team, but he actually did multiple teams. That's the problem. He did multiple teams. Personally, I would random it off amongst all teams. Let me see if there's an inscription. Maybe there's an inscription that'll bail me out. No, there's not. Do all the teams he did? So this ball is clearly a 1 of 1. Clearly a 1 of 1. It is on an American League ball. And you see got the 1 of 1 sticker. There's no inscription to bail me out. Passed away in 1996. Most notable moment came from calling Bill Mazeroski's walk-off home run in Game 7 of the 1960 World Series. 1985 American Sportscasters Association Hall of Fame nominee, or inductee, I mean. 1978 baseball game. So he's a Ford C. Frick Award winner. He's known for being the voice of the Yankees. Well, we don't. The ball usually doesn't matter. As if it's a World Series ball, that's one thing. But if it's an AL ball, it's usually the older autographs. Sometimes they like to just go with the league ball. So we got Mel Allen. So all teams he was a part of 3 years or more. So this is a 1 of 1. This is a very we're doing this for 7.5 years and we still have shit we haven't done before. I'm looking at his broadcasting career. He was the voice of the Washington Senators for 1 year. And then I guess he moved to the Yankees in 1939. He also did games for the New York Giants. So he did both Yankees and Giants game during the war. So Yankees and Giants are two teams that he was there for more than 3 years. The Senators, he was only there for 1 year, so it wouldn't have counted. But the Senators, so there was two different Washington Senators. I believe one became the Texas Rangers and the other one became the Minnesota Twins. But he only did it for 1 year. So if we're going based off our previous precedent, he called a bunch of All-Star games. He called the All-Star game for 24 years. I guess technically that doesn't count as a team, but still. Let's see. He called 14 Rose Bowls, 2 Orange Bowls, 2 Sugar Bowls. He play-by-played for the the Washington football team for a while. The Dolphins, the Giants, New York Giants. Good thing it's not a football break, right? He was fired by the Yankees in 1964. And he started doing Braves games in 1965. But for 1 year. He worked Cleveland Indians games in 1968, but he wouldn't commit to either team, nor the Oakland A's. So I guess really the Yankees and the Giants are the two teams. But again, we always went by player precedent. So I don't know. Yeah, this week in baseball. Oh, that is true. The voice of this week in baseball. That's just straight up major league. All right. Let's table this discussion for now. You know what? That's a really good point that got brought up in there. I mean, who doesn't remember Twib Notes, right? Yeah, I think he's just too big of a contributor to limit him. Let's think about it for a few minutes. But honestly, I forgot about that. I didn't even go all the way down to the bottom. His Wikipedia is ridiculous. There it is, this week in baseball. I didn't even go down. So he hosted from 1977 to 1996. It's got to be random to everybody, I think. Does anybody disagree with that? I don't even know why I didn't. I mean, I don't know why I didn't even think about that. Every freaking rain delay in Mets history that I would watch. You know, when we're setting precedent, it's not just for this break, it's for every break. So, all right. So I think that's the direction we're going to go. All right. Let's do the other Onyx box. I'm sure we'll get a random prospect, but we'll be able to random that off. That just goes to anybody, any team. Well, there we go. We kind of trumped the Topps news today. Of course, we got 2 prospects. 7 out of 110. We got another Yasser Mercedes. So that's 2 out of the 110, Marc-Down style. And then 30 out of 125, Jonathan Mejia. So I don't think Jonathan Mejia got signed by anybody. I think he's eligible for the next one coming up. I think it's this month, right? Mid-January, when they can start doing international signings. So I'll double check them online, but as of right now, I don't think any of these guys are signed. So Yasser Mercedes and Jonathan Mejia, 2 prospects there. I'm kind of hoping not. But there were 5 teams left over. That's why I don't do the randoms. Red rookie, green laser prism. Huh. All right, I got to prove that later, I guess. I'll look at it. All right, Bowman draft. The hits in the first Bowman box. Real quick. Gavin Williams, Indians. Steven Hajar, Twins. And Ricky Tiedemann, Blue Jays. So what do we think Topps being bought out is going to do to the market right now? The market's in a weird place at the moment. Some people are calling it a correction. I do agree for the most part with that. I also think we're kind of on a holding pattern. When does what start? The changeover? We don't know. We just know that the purchase is made. It hasn't been finalized. I mean, this is pretty much as fresh as when Topps said that they were going to do a SPAC. I don't think somebody's going to come out and outbid Fanatics because there's no benefit to them to do so. But I do think the transition will probably take a year. Fanatics said they were not going to label the trading cards with their name. They said that at a presser. They want to go direct to consumer, which honestly scares the living bejesus out of me. If there's no involvement with hobby shop owners, oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me. The Topps name is just so iconic. There's no way they couldn't have made this deal. It was just no way you don't make that deal. And we talked about that from day one. I said Topps will likely sell. I don't know about Panini. Again, Panini's a bigger dog than I think a lot of people give them credit for, especially baseball collectors, because so many baseball guys kind of, you either love the Panini design or you hate the lack of logos. You know what I'm saying? My Facebook feed went down. Hold on. Like my personal one. There we go. All right, no new comments. Comments, I think, were working. It was just messed up. So here's the thing. Topps has the logos for baseball through 2025. They didn't have the Players Association, but we had brought up the question, well, they're grandfathered into the fact that they can negotiate with the players individually. So my feeling was Topps would still be able to put cards out through 2025, and then they were going to be done. Because they really didn't have a non-logo foothold in the market, and I don't know if people were going to buy into it, even though it is Topps, all right? And I honestly think you can't have baseball cards without Topps. It's just been so long. You can't have it without Topps. Donruss came back because of Panini. Fleer came back because of Upper Deck and their designs. Score came back because of Panini. Pacific came back because of Panini. But those are still not iconic. Topps dominated the card market for, let's face it, all 70 years. The only other thing that could compete with them was BOWMAN, and they had that since 89. All right? Leaf is the strongest brand out there as far as the non-licensed players in baseball once you go past Panini. I love Onyx. Good stuff. All right. There's even some other stuff floating around there. Super Break is starting to do stuff. But well, it's a little bit more than that. Leaf was another candy company like Donruss. I believe they were based out of Canada. So what they did was, I think they had the licensing for Donruss's designs in Canada, and then they kind of, because Leaf did its stuff way before Donruss even existed. Leaf had cards. I think Leaf had cards. Was it the 60s or the 40s? There was definitely Fleer stuff in that like 1950s, 1960s range. But it was 1990 Leaf where Donruss had the name for Leaf. So there was some kind of a merger or acquisition there, and that's when the Leaf cards, the 90 Thomas, Sosa, and all that, that's when that became a thing. So really, Leaf's history in cards actually goes back a long time. Even you can find like you can see an 86 Canseco. There's an 86 Leaf Canseco. And I wish I could remember exactly how it went down, but I feel like that was more of a partnership than an ownership thing. And then it went from there. But Brian Gray bought the designs from 1990, 91, and 92. He also has the Pro Set designs, which, obviously that started coming out this year. Well, remember, Donruss liked to use the puzzles. Donruss had like the mini puzzles. I think I still have one put together of Warren's Fond somewhere. What was that, 88 Donruss? So now this is what I'm going to adjust some things that I talked about before. Before I said the baseball season is going to be the key to kickstarting the baseball market and driving the wax prices back up on baseball boxes, right? Again, I've also talked, there's a correlation between the wax and the singles markets, but they don't always run together. If anything, one is usually catching up to the other. So that doesn't necessarily mean the singles market, I think, is going to change until the baseball season. I think that's going to be the same. The baseball season is going to dictate the singles market because I think there's a lot of underpriced 2021 rookie cards out there. That's my honest opinion. All right. Oh yeah, but you sell those things. You know what? I've said it till I'm blue in the face. I don't think basketball is holding the value that the boxes are showing right now. I don't think football is, although I think it's a lot closer than where basketball is right now. All right. 80 out of 250, Ben Kudra. That's why I haven't been spending, everything I have restocking football, even though they're only giving me one box. My money is on the market goes down and I can get the stuff later. Honestly, I do think that there's a lot of football products that will go up. There'll be a lull in the off season and then they'll come back up. If some of this year's rookies do a little bit better. I think this was a rough year for some of these rookies. I think 2020 had a little bit stronger class. I think there's a lot of people not even completely sold on Mac Jones, although he's definitely the forefront guy. He's the Justin Herbert of 2021. In all ways, because he wasn't the guy who everybody was going after first. It was Tua and Burrow. Burrow got hurt, so I think Burrow's going to continue to rise up. But Justin Herbert came in and said, I'm going to be the number one guy. 64 out of 150 for the Giants, Will Bednar. So that's a straight blue refractor. He was the 14th overall pick. First rounder for the Giants. And yes, we do have a little bit of twinning going on, and ironically, it's a Twins player. Steven Hajar is all over this case. Oh yeah, that made, I mean that is his Lou Gehrig moment there, Oh man, my brain's shot today. What's the guy's name? Wally Pipp. Tyrod's Wally Pipp in that scenario. To take a sit day, and that was it. I always felt bad for him because I always felt like he was a very capable quarterback, but things just never quite went his way. So yeah, I think that there's still room for football to move up. Look at the prices of 2017 and 2018 and even 2016 products. All right. Sometimes it's just the fact that the boxes are scarce and that you can't really see them, find them sealed. That makes them more valuable than what's in them. That's actually why I can't stand Tom Brady. I was a huge Drew Bledsoe fan. Like Joe Montana was my favorite, and Drew Bledsoe was probably like the next guy on the list. And I didn't like Brady. I like Kurt Warner. I've for years. Thank you for the 2 Super Bowls, but Eli Manning, I cannot stand you. I don't know. And I'm a guy who roots for the underdog, so I don't know what the hell's the matter with me. Yeah, I'll watch the Kurt Warner one. I'm down for a good semi-cheesy Christian flick. But Sam Backman, 129 out of 499 for the Angels there. But I don't think I could stomach that much Brady. Unless they had a big episode dedicated to the Giants beating him twice, I could watch that episode. Oh man. So I think what my feeling is going to be at the wax market for baseball is really going to be resting on the hinges of any upcoming announcement by Fanatics as far as when they're going to get the ball rolling. I'm hoping personally that I got until the end of the year, because I'm going to have a 1-year lease with the store. I'm hoping that I got at least a year of Topps products still coming in. Or that we can make that direct-to-consumer thing work as far as doing breaks go. Or that the secondary market still has a lot of power to it. Because I bought a lot of stuff off the secondary market. I'm not paying, low prices for a lot of the stuff that we've gotten in. I mean, I probably put in about, I don't know, $50,000-$60,000 into inventory that I know is going to take at least 5 months for me to be able to make some money off of it. There's some stuff that I have priced higher than what the going rate is right now. All right. And, price makes some people so crazy sometimes, but I've talked about the wax market right now, and it's not 100% supply and demand. A lot of it is being dictated on whether the big guys are buying or selling it. If they're buying, they're dropping the price on what stock they have now to lower the buys on stuff like DealerNet or directs that they make. And they're just trying to lower it so that they can buy it all up and then charge you more later, which, I mean, it is a business model, you know what I mean? That's just how they choose to do it. So there's a lot of dips that I say, watch out. I think this is a false one. Right before Black Friday, I'm like, watch out. These are going to go back up in the not too distant future because they're just buying so that they can put stuff on sale. They're not looking to make money off of it. But see, it's kind of, they kind of have almost like a two-faced game they got to play. They got to keep the market up so that the distributors can rape, pillage, and plunder and sell to us at above market value. And guys who are buying into this are getting hurt. I've chosen really not to buy into much of this. And I've been very careful. And I bought some stuff that I'm like, oh, shit. It's like half of what I paid for it now. Not a lot, thank God. But a little bit. A little bit has affected me. Got Jay Allen for the Reds there. And, it's a game. And if they can bring the buys down, they also bring down the price that the distributors are charging. And during these dips is when I'm like, all right, now I got like I was really, really ticked off. Then give me a full case of Optic Baseball. So on day one, I'm like, do you have any available for sale? Yeah, the same price of Blowout has them right now, $195. Sure enough, they dropped down to half that price. But what I did was when there was a huge drop and they went down in price, I bought 2 cases. So then when it comes back up, I can level out the 5 boxes that I bought really high and just blend it in with the cases that I have sitting there. And that's what you got to do in this market. The distributor is not the friend right now. You gotta know when to come in. And honestly, if Fanatics is direct to consumer, I think the secondary market is still going to be strong on certain products. There's going to be stuff that's going to be sold out day one. Once it's out of their hands, they can't control the market anymore. The question is, are they going to leave any room to play with? They're charging more money now than anybody else for not anybody else, but a lot of everybody else for the baseball stuff. Now, there's also ways to get discounts on Fanatic stuff, even discounted gift cards. And that's kind of the game that's going to have to be played, I mean, I was kind of I'll never shop at Target kind of guy, and I had to get a red card. And what made it even crazier for me was I don't do credit. No credit cards, none. Because you know what? When you've lost your job 3 times in a 5-year period, you learn they're not really there to help you out. So I had to tie it into my debit card because it was the only way to do it. One of my business debits. Indians strike again. 106 out of 250. This is their 4th rounder, Ryan Webb. So we got a couple Indian pitcher autos in this break. Straight up purple there. And I mean, this is the name of the game. I want to get things to you at the price that you guys deserve to get them at. And I know it's hurt my allocations, but I'm not going to overpay and kill myself and then have to sell you and that's overpriced too. That's not the way my business model goes. And maybe that's why I'm not, one of the biggest breakers out there. Because when it comes down to it, I feel like I'm very good at predicting where things are going to go. There was a lot of things over the last 3 years we couldn't predict. Some crazy stuff has happened in the market the last 3 years. But as far as like just in general, there's definitely some things that you just can't. Excuse me. Yeah, and I think now you're going to see Topps products in football and baseball come 2026. Maybe even sooner. Because the Players Association's agreements, I think only go through 2023, just like baseball. I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure about basketball. That could be both. Like, I don't know. I would have to reread the articles. I don't want to give wrong information. I'm not Sports Card Radio. But yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of a gap period where they may try to bring the Topps designs back and just not have the logos on them for a while. Why not? It worked for Panini and for baseball. They still sell a decent amount of baseball cards. Don't listen to all the haters. I sell a lot of Panini. Well, I used to when they stopped giving it to me. I couldn't even get a full case of Chronicles or Donruss, any of that stuff. I had to buy extra. But I think they'll go that route and they'll get their feet wet. And any mistakes they make along the way, it'll be like nothing ever happened when you're the only one left standing. Fanatics, last man standing. So, but yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be an interesting year, 2022. And again, I didn't see this happening until later in the year. Yeah, and I mean, this is the thing. You got a lot of collectors being like, oh, they're going to be the savior of the business. It's going to be wonderful when Fanatics takes over. It might be. We don't know yet. But I'll tell you what. Do you feel like you pay more or less for the things that you get on Fanatics right now? I know there's a lot of hockey collectors that on the memorabilia side said they feel like they're paying a lot more now for certain things. Hey, I've loved the Fanatics products that we've carried in the past. The Next Level baseballs were awesome. I think they ended up doing a smaller second series run, and then I didn't see them anymore. So I don't know if they still do them as a Fanatics exclusive or if they just ditched the brand. But the next level baseballs were the premier memorabilia baseball that we've ever carried. Love TriStar. Love Onyx even more, especially because it's prospects. But the next level baseballs were the Cadillacs baseballs. They came in a wooden box. They were just super cool. And there was a lot of cool stuff in them. Multi-sign baseballs, crazy inscriptions on some of them. You know, every once in a while you got something kind of, garbagey. You even got current players that didn't sign a lot because they were Fanatics exclusives. So you didn't see them in the TriStar products or anything like that. And then they stopped doing it. Then they did the hockey pucks. I like the hockey pucks, especially since I couldn't get Upper Deck cards. I was like, oh, we can get hockey pucks. And we blew right through them. We went through cases of hockey pucks. But then they never came out with it again. So don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that I am excited for Fanatics. Some of the things I'm excited for the hobby in general. And some of the things I can see opportunity that could be out there. And especially if I can get a hold of the right ear, maybe I can be informed. So I'm not going with the doom and gloom perspective. I'm going balls to the wall. We're going to reopen the store. And we are going to just continue to be that hybrid dealer that we've been. We're going to continue to do shows. We're going to continue to do breaks. And we'll continue to do content, but like this break right now that we're doing, like I'm just going to kind of tweak the title a little bit on YouTube. It's not just a break, it's a discussion about the Fanatics deal. It's also our announcement that we're doing the store. The only reason I popped that announcement early, because we haven't signed anything yet, is because of the Fanatics announcement. So it kind of went hand in hand for me. Nick Gonzalez, Matt Mikulski. All right, so we got what? One more auto. One more auto. Who's it gonna be? We got a big one. I mean, right now, hit of the night has got to be the Mel Allen ball. We've been talking about doing it, but we haven't been saying we're doing it. I've been undecided about the subject for a while, and the main thing is, I am not that confident in the state of New Jersey. Well, and that's another thing too. The hours that we kept when we had the original store weren't always regular. I think that's like my one bad review on the Marc-Down page from somebody that actually did shop with me and just wasn't like somebody who was trying to sabotage a fellow person in the business, we'll say. My one bad review was that my hours weren't consistent with the business. They were always announced on Facebook, so it was very easy. The pin post actually used to have the store hours in it. I guess I'd have to incorporate that again. So, if I'm traveling to Florida or something like that, I'm one person. I can't be in New Jersey and Florida at the same time. And, at some point, I would probably say getting some help would be a good idea. But for anybody who's been in the actual, card business before, good. I had like an awesome employee the first time around, and I haven't been able to get all the. I know he just started a new job, so I don't know if that's going to be an option again. I mean, I have somebody who I would bring back in a heartbeat. 144 out of 250, Sam Backman. I mean, it was kind of a minimum wage job with perks. So, unfortunately, I can't. It's hard to pay somebody a certain amount and trust them with a certain amount of inventory. You know what I'm saying? And, that was somebody who I could. And he actually in the past has come and helped me with shows and stuff too. We've done shows together a few times. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't just hire somebody off the street that, especially if somebody knows what they're dealing with. I mean, it was very hard for me. I interviewed a few people and I'm like, this ain't gonna work. And then he came into the store and he was telling me, I'm from far away, but I have a passion for the business, and and he was telling me, he was going to be going to church softball, and he's very involved in his church, and I'm like, all right, I can respect that, and I prayed about it, and I was like, I think this is someone we can trust, and sure enough, it worked out great for, I don't know, a couple months. And then I had to close the store down. So I finally found the right person, and then somebody stole my identity and all my money was tied up. It is not fun knowing that there's Pedro Pineda. That's actually a decent one for Invicta there. Like $10,000 worth of your money sitting out there and you can't touch it. CJ Abrams. Doug Nikhazy. So, do you pay the mortgage where your kids sleep, or do you pay your store where your cards sleep? And so then we got a storage unit. I'd like to get rid of that thing soon. That thing's like twice as much the cost that it was when I first got it in 2015. I'll have to put that into that monthly money into the security system probably, but and there we go. Twins. Loving this break. Cade Povich. Do I have Bowman Draft Light? I have 5 boxes that should be here Wednesday or Thursday. Topps' stuff is all messed up as far as shipping goes. So, yeah, and the guy who had the Indians probably isn't thrilled that 2 autos came out either. So, I credit Lester for this saying, always keep your teams. There it is. Thank you, Michael. Always keep your teams. Hopefully I'll see Lester at the New York show. See how his MMA experience went. Maximo Acosta. Edwin Arroyo. And that's going to finish out the break. All right, so usually when we have things to randomize, we're going to do it in the Facebook group. So since we really didn't have any new drip watchers buying into the break, the random's going to be done as normal in the Marc-Down group. I have a few guys that like the Twins, but not always picking them up. That's all. We actually had a few guys that like Minnesota teams, don't you know? Some people are like hardcore every product type guys, and other guys are like, I'm only looking for certain things. So, I have there's a few teams like that they usually get picked up. So we're going to do a recap of the hits in the break, and then if anybody has anything for me. But as far as, is this the first year they're doing light? Yes. This is kind of a new thing for them, doing those light boxes. Really, it's a way for them to circumvent retail and do like an online exclusive type product. They put them up when we had a power outage. I was going to get another case or two when they went live on Topps.com, and I couldn't access the internet. So, but I think they're special, like black and white, like X-ray parallels or something like that. So let's recap it. Some honorable mentions: White Sox, Yoelqui Cespedes, Invicta. A's, Pedro Pineda, Invicta. We had like 5 refractors out of the top 10, including that Harry Ford, including Jackson Jobe for the Tigers, including Henry Davis to 250 for the Pirates, and Colton Cowser for the Orioles, Marcelo Meyer for the Red Sox, Benny Montgomery for the Rockies. A lot of cool refractors in this break. So, Ricky Tiedemann, Blue Jays. All right. Adley Rutschman to 100 for the Orioles. Pirates, Henry Davis, numbered to 50. Now, we have a few things that are going to random. So usually when we randomize things, it's like 1, 2, 3. Like we got 3 items that are going to random. So instead of like there being multiple things, it's like spot 1, spot 2, spot 3. So spot 1 is obviously going to be the Mel Allen baseball. The 1 of 1 out of TriStar Platinum. And then numbers 2 and 3 are going to be Yasser Mercedes and Jonathan Mejia. As long as they're not signed by anybody. I'll double check, but I don't think they would be. I think it's later in the month when the international draft signing period starts. And then 2 teams did pretty good. You had 2 numbered cards, both numbered to 250 for the Indians. So you got Gavin Williams, class of 2021, and Ryan Webb with the purple for his Bowman auto. And then the Twins, you got Austin Martin's first base Chrome card for the Twins, I believe, in Bowman. Oh, wait, Bowman Inception. No, Bowman Inception. Still pretty cool on an aqua. Then you got Cade Povich with an auto. And then let's hope for the Twins' sake that this guy ends up being pretty good. We had number to 25, no auto, Steven Hashar. And then we followed up with a twinning effect, a base, and a number to 99 parallel. A base and a number to 99 parallel. So, there's your break summary. If anybody is looking for anything, yeah, we've hit a lot of orange twins in the past. Well, we've got a good history of the twins coming up. Orange. We've hit a lot of red brewers in the past too. I think we hit a red wave Kristen Hura first Bowman auto. So red is for the Brewers. Gold. What do we have a good history of gold for? We've been doing this 7 years, so it's kind of tough to narrow it down. I think the Nationals we have a good history of gold for. The most impressive gold that we hit probably being Victor Robles' first Bowman, which at one point was really way up there. Like I think he was above Soto initially when we first hit that. We've hit golds for the Phillies too. I remember Moniak, we had a gold wave. So only got an orange Bobichette, yeah. Blue Jays, we've hit a lot of regular refractor. We had a Vlad refractor and Topps Chrome as a rookie, and we had a Vlad refractor first Bowman Chrome. Man, wish we had those laying around still. So yeah. And when we did Pack Wars, we always did it so that everybody still got something, but it was just the hits that were up for grabs. And that came out of the silver pack. So the whole silver pack was like a bonus in the Pack War. So, yeah, Bowman Draft Light should be here Wednesday or Thursday. Super Jumbos I haven't gotten word on. Undisputed I think is supposed to be here Wednesday or Thursday. What was the other thing they said they had come in? Top shipping is in this. Oh, Leaf Metal Draft Jumbos are coming in. But they said they only got the Jumbos in. Not the regular ones. I don't know. Whatever. Am I into the NFT stuff? I experimented a little bit with it last month. I was actually going to do a little content on it and just, say how that's gone so far. I haven't done well with the football. But I'm only buying the $15 packs because I bought 2 of the $49 packs and I got 2 freaking Young Ho Koos. And I was like, no, I'm not a gambling guy. I don't like to play roulette. I like to play blackjack. All right. I'm a conservative, risk assessor. Breaks with NFTs. See, he's probably allowed to gift them. I mean, otherwise, technically, you got to arrange a deal for them if you do it that way. And that would kind of make, because they keep track of the sale of every one. Okay, he's got to gift them. That's what I figured. Yeah, see, I'm not authorized to gift NFTs yet on Panini. So that's actually not a bad idea. That's kind of fun. There's only 2 issues. One, obviously, is being able to transfer them. The other one is, I guess you got to buy the packs. There's no, you don't want them selling out. But anybody can buy the pack, so it's almost like you're not really doing it for much gain. Yes, and I don't like that because that messes up the the sales transaction history for the card. I think that, I mean, obviously you want to get it to them as quickly as possible. I think that's a kind of a rough way to do it. Of course, people do make mistakes. I made a mistake on one of them. I was fiddling around with it, and I was waiting. The gas station had a line, so I was fiddling around with it, and I accidentally posted the wrong Khabib. I've done well with the UFC ones. Much better success with the UFC. Although, because of the way I was experimenting with it, I immediately put the money back into it. So now I just have a decent collection of UFC ones. But I thought I was putting a Khabib that was like, $413 or something like that out of $9.99. And I didn't realize right underneath it was the $9.99 out of $9.99. So I ended up selling that for like, I don't remember what it was. It was way lower than it should have been. Like $30 or something. I was like, man, that sold right away. And I was like, oh crap, that was the wrong one. I wasn't even done at the pump. Shit. Probably could have gotten like 75 to 100 for it. Yes, numbers are a big deal, and sports jersey number is king, as well as the one of and the last of. The bookends are important. If it's a high number card and you have a low number card, this goes back literally like NFTs are like the new thing, but they have the old school thinking. And when you had actual serial numbered cards, right? Not just it said 1 out of 25,000, but like when it was like, 9 out of 2,500 or something, those lower number cards actually used to go for a lot more. Like it mattered if it was 100 out of 2,500 or 2,400 out of 2,500. Nobody wanted that 2,400 out of 2,500. They wanted the low numbered ones. And actually, there's some sets out there. I think the most famous one, what is it, Precious Gems? The one Michael Jordan. So what they did was that set, it was numbered to 100, but I think it was like 1 to 10 was red, and the other ones were green or something like that. And so really 1 to 10 was really out of 100, but it was out of 10. It's just the way the thinking was. The lower numbers were better. I don't know why. Because you got one of the first ones that were made. Just like, I got to get the new iPhone, right? I'm not that guy. I wait till the 2-year model's on clearance. Although I might have to get the new models because this 5G thing, my kids' phones might not work. We don't know yet. But they weren't stamped at the same time. Dang it. Shh. I don't know why people do things sometimes. People are crazy. Excuse me. But, yeah, it's just the way it was. I don't know. So, yeah, I think the big concern is airplanes. I think there's a big concern with airplanes and their ability to function when everything goes mass 5G. Will it mess up? Will we have planes colliding in the sky? I don't know. I hope not. So, there's obviously all the conspiracy theory stuff out there too about 5G. I don't know. In this world that we live in the last 2 years, not everything crazy necessarily sounds crazy anymore to me. I'm a pretty logical guy. Sometimes crazy makes more sense than normal. Well, you could wear 2 masks that don't work. Okay, yeah. No. Anyways. Yeah, that's another one. What was it? Somebody in, I forget what it was. I want to say New York. Like somebody's mom got a hold of a vaccine, not even I can't even talk about the subject because I know Facebook will shut it down. So, but there's some things that don't go through some news channels and go through others that it's like, what? Let's just say there was another mother that was very upset about what happened to their kid. Oh yeah. Yeah, like we just went to concert last week. If I wanted to go to tomorrow's AEW Dynamite show, I wouldn't be able to go. Newark. This is a big reason why they changed the rules so much. And in Jersey, the big city areas are I'm not in a big city area, so the votes go a different way in this area. So I'm just like, if I'm going to open up a shop, it's going to be now. And it's only going to be a 1-year lease because Lord knows what's going to happen. I go to Florida and, I feel great. No. I almost feel like I should cut the Facebook feed off. No, our kids got the normal ones. And my distrust for mainstream media comes from something that I went to. And they totally reported it the wrong way because it was against a bill that New Jersey was trying to sneak in to make different vaccines mandatory, including, what is that called? Gardasil. It's like a STD one that like you don't need to get, and it's actually caused harm to perfectly healthy kids. And we're like, we don't want our kids forced to get that. Now we homeschool, but our kids also play sports in the school system. So, and you're supposed to be up to date with what you're supposed to get with the school in order to play. So it's a little bit, yes, the HPV one. So we had friends who were like totally straight up none ever. And we were just like, well, this is kind of an invasion of rights. And so we kind of went there in support. And the lies that were told was like, what do we even watch the news for? They're not even reporting what's actually happening. If anything, they were kind of making fun of it. And I was just like, this is insane. And again, we're not like, we're not getting, our kids are never getting, our kids will have all their, traditional ones. Right? But there's things we've said no to. We never got flu shots. Guess what? 15 years. I got it one time. My mother, I think, did it once and got it once. And then she's like, I'm not getting it anymore because it didn't work. My dad falls for it every year. And then he's always sick. And I was like, did you get your flu shot? He's like, yeah, I got it like a few days ago. Why? It's like, because we have the same talk every year. So again, and here we use essential oils for things like, we use oil soap, and very rarely, like, I mean, everybody's sick now, but a lot of people have suppressed their internal functioning, for one reason or another. I mean, in some states, it's almost forced to. Yeah, so I mean, it's not a subject I like to talk about a lot. I got nobody watching on Facebook right now, so ain't nobody going to report me, but I also know they're always watching, so, I try to avoid it. But, I mean, the bottom line is, if they're going to do things to drive people out of the state, then that's going to hurt my business. If they're going to do something that'll drive us out of the state, then I got to take my business elsewhere. So I've been very nervous about the whole store thing. And finally, it's just like, dude, you're either going to do it or you're not. And I found a place that has, it's a house. So like, there's like people above, which kind of, again, hopefully there won't be any issues with that as far as, doing recordings there and stuff like that. Home a lot. So like, I guess they travel for work or something. But yeah, definitely not coming to Chicago. Yeah, so again, I'm afraid of what Facebook's gonna do to me, but my wife's uncle, right? First time, coma, 10 days. He recovered, and once he was like, back into it. Second one, coma, dead, brain dead. The doctor won't say it was from that. I don't think most of the family would say it was from that. They all said, oh, it's from his blood pressure medication that he took religiously for the last 10 years. So what changed? So, I do much better doing this when I'm breathing. So, yeah. But again, everybody should have the freedom to make a choice in the matter. And hopefully those still continue. I mean, let's put it this way, as much as I don't want to bring this up. Football is 94%. Basketball is 97%. Hockey is 99.9%. Why are we still canceling and postponing games? Cruises have to be 100%. Why are they still sitting out at docks if everything works the way that we're being told it's supposed to? So, I don't know. God bless us. That's all I got to say. But I don't ignore it either. Like, my daughter had a tournament yesterday. So I had what I felt was a chest cold Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We had to fight all the healthy people for it, but my wife got a couple of the at-home tests, and me and Becky were the ones that had been sick. We tested negative. All right, we're good to go. We did the responsible thing. We made sure it wasn't that. Because even if, regardless of whether you believe it can cause you serious health harm or not, it still causes harm in the fact that people can't go to work, people can't go to school, and all that stuff. But when they recommended that you use a freaking app, I'm like, no way am I downloading that shit. No way. And honestly, I think I've said before, but January of 2020, I think I had it before it was a thing. I guess kind of like the wearing black and wearing chains and stuff like that. I was just a little bit ahead of the times because it wasn't cool when I did it in high school. But 2 years later, I go to visit a teacher and everybody's dressed like me. And I'm like, shit, man, I just missed that much. So same thing there, you know. I didn't get the new iPhone first, but I think I got the new fancy thing because my wife's sister-in-law, I guess, had somebody, a kid who had traveled from China, and they had a cold at Christmas time, a cold, you know, and it happened to me, and for like a few days, you know, I was kind of, as far as feeling sick, it was kind of like off and on. Like I felt really bad one day, I felt okay the other day, and then the next day I thought I was going to have to call an ambulance because like I was having trouble breathing. I also have a history of asthma from when I was a kid, so I outgrew it, but there's still things like that I have problems with, like sinus infections into my ear, and I my colds tend to be chest colds, and then they don't go away. You know, like I'm okay now, right? But the effects still linger with me normal because that's just the way that my body reacts. That's why my voice is kind of, yeah, you know, I try not to take that stuff for too long, you know. But I'm also still to this very day a very serious habitual allergy sufferer. So like my allergies are constantly, you know, and you hear it from time to time. I mean, I probably always sound a little bit nasally. I don't sound like this normally. But you know, allergies kill me. And I just got to suck it up and try to sound good. So but yeah. Man, I'll tell you, my allergies were killing me, and I went to the rookie premiere in California, and in 2 days they were gone. Another time my allergies were bothering me, and my wife and it was like the end of May, beginning of June, and my wife and I went to Vegas for our 5th anniversary, so this was a while ago, and we were in, you know, dry Nevada air. And unlike the Raiders, we knew to walk or use the public transportation. Oh, man. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's just an easy sweat. You know, Christmas time, like normally I've got like a backup table where I have everything on. But when Christmas is like I use up the entire garage for the most part, but Santa's workshop's back there too, and you know, something must have happened. Something maybe either got knocked over or I just set it in the wrong place because you know, it's awkward to get to. So Yeah, I figure we'll just have you guys exchange the addresses. So when you get back home and you got that package, just check out for that. I was due. I think it's been almost 2 years since Mick switched up somebody's teams. But we've never actually had a problem with that, so that's good. We've always managed to get stuff back to the other person. Anyways. So that's where we at right now. We're gonna push through for a part 3 on this. I definitely want to put another football break up. Was it last year? Was it a pile or a package? I know PayPal, when they switched over, there was a couple issues with printing out labels because they were changing the way that they were doing their shipping stuff. And for some reason, something didn't print right and something else printed twice. Running back for the Chargers. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, 2021, the first half of it was pretty busy, so. Eckler. Okay. Sure it wasn't 2020? What was Eckler's rookie year? That'll tell us. He was a 2017 rookie. That might have been the 2020 anniversary break because that had a lot of stuff in it for multiple years. I don't know. We've done so many breaks now, I can't remember all of them. Although I do remember some good details on some of them. But always make it right. That's the most important part. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes a mistake every once in a while. Just gotta fix it. That's all. Some things are an easy fix. So I don't know. You want me to redo the recap? I can redo the recap. That's fine. Yeah, man. I can't wait till they open up value again. I might send some things away for a few years. All right, quick recap. All right. Invictas were A's, Pedro Pineda, and White Sox, Yoelqui Cespedes. Some honorable mentions. Harry Ford had a refractor. So did Jackson Jobe. This Henry Davis is at a 250. Colton Cowser. Marcelo Meyer. Oh, we had 6 in the top 10. Look at that. And Benny Montgomery. Yeah, it's tough to say. Probably, I think some people are going on, anywhere from 10 to 14 months, depending on what level it got submitted in, as far as the lower 2 tiers. So, yeah, April or May could be there. We had Ricky Tiedemann for the Blue Jays. Adley Rutschman, Orioles. Henry Davis out of 50 for the Pirates, now for sale. November bulk. Yeah, that sounds about what I'm seeing on Twitter. I see I don't know. Very interesting. Two very different worlds. Facebook hobby, Twitter hobby. It's like the same but completely different, you know? Three things that are going to random are the Mel Allen baseball, the Yasser Mercedes, and the Jonathan Mejia prospects. Gavin Williams. Twitter is hard to follow, yes. I only have a couple things on Twitter that I say show all notifications. And they're constantly blowing up. But they've helped me out in the past as far as finding things. So Gavin Williams out of 250 and Ryan Webb out of 250 for the Indians. The Twins killed it, man. Aqua Austin Martin, Cade Povich auto, and then Steven Hajar, an orange non-auto, and then autograph base and autograph to 99. Yeah, that's not bad, especially like last minute jumping in. That's why I leave this stuff going until the first hit, because sometimes somebody pops on and they're like, I'm in the mood for something now, and again, I go into it, I want to sell every team out, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of things that I've gotten in breaks because people didn't buy the teams. But when my allocations were higher, all right, Bowman's coming out. I'm going to open a box, especially in April. Bowman always comes out around my birthday. So I always that was always a thing for me. Let's rip me a super jumbo or whatever Bowman box. The biggest one you got, right? And now I can't do that anymore because they don't give me a lot of Bowman anymore. But it is what it is. It's going to be interesting how this affects. We always have these rules that not everyone follows every specific rule, but everybody's got rules of the hobby. And, I've always talked about how I'm not a big, comp's got to be like this, comp's got to be like that. It's more of a range. It's, you got to understand there's a wholesale price, and then there's the price that a collector, a very avid collector will want to pay. And it's usually from one extreme to the other and somewhere in between, and then you make a deal. It depends on the card. Some cards have a thin range. Certain singles, I actually had some content that I was going to do for a video, and between people in the house getting sick, it's going to be like last year where there's numbered envelopes. We'll randomize the numbers while we're on camera, and then we'll open each person's envelope. That's the fairest way to do it, because it's not like I'm boxing this product special, sealing up cases, and having somebody randomly assign things to it. Yeah, that's my feeling. Straight to consumer is going to be a lot like the Topps exclusives. Excuse me. And I'm not handling anybody's cards anymore. I do have this for when I do have to blow my nose, but stuff's limited. So I think that there's still the power of the secondary market. And that will cause, again, if Fanatics makes the margins really tight on guys like me, it's going to be hard for us. Hey, Montgomery Club is good through the rest of the year, supposedly. Although I did find it interesting. If you looked at the fine print, which most don't read because they're so busy trying to get their products online. But it did say this program can be terminated at any time. I think Fanatics will not want to rock the waters too much with collectors. I think with all the lines of things that they sell, they understand by being in the autograph market that collectors are finicky. You could put a jersey, and as long as everybody's paying the same price, you want to increase it 10%, the fan that wants the jersey is going to buy the jersey. All right? With the autographs, though, people are used to things being done a certain way. They want that authentication on there. Some people will want it come framed. Some people, want to do their own framing project. Like there's just a lot of particulars out there. And it's going to be even worse with card collectors. The guys that are dealers in the auto market will get dibs on the card side. I don't know. I mean, I got connections in places sometimes I don't even think of. So I would say, is there going to be guys that get special treatment? I think there always is. I don't know. I talked to a representative, and he's like, "Oh, I'll keep you posted on certain things," and then I never got another email again. So I'm like, do I need to email this guy and let him know I'm serious? Do I need to buy some things? So will they get the cards too? I don't know. And honestly, I've been wanting to email this guy for a couple weeks now. Wanted to, reintroduce a topic about things. And with today's news, I definitely should jump on it. Today I had plans to do a lot of things, and then we had no power all day. Only got to like the low 50s in the house, though. I think it was like 53 degrees. And then we were out shoveling snow, so it may have gotten to 50 in the house, and then we got the power back on. So hallelujah, because I wasn't sure what we were going to do. Yeah, we had very little heads up on, like, our area got hit with like anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow. Let me see. If I had to eyeball the snow pile, I would say we were at about 7. So thankfully I'm about here. No. Anyway. Yeah, so it just kind of like my parents live an hour and a half north, and they didn't get anything. They live in like north central Jersey. We're in like the northern area of southern Jersey. I consider southern Jersey the Pinelands down. Some people will even call it central Jersey, but that's only if you're thinking of New York City as north. Really, there's still a lot of Jersey going up north into like Essex County and Passaic County and all that stuff. But I consider us like the northern part of southern Jersey. Cape May? Like all the way at the bottom, that's Cape May. That's where you would take the ferry to go to Maryland. I prefer to go, what is it, 95 to 295? Well, really, all of New Jersey is a dangly part. It's a peninsula. Because you have the Delaware River going all the way up on the west side. Technically. It's telling me to reschedule my device here. Yeah, it can update at 5:33 a.m. today. Oh. And yeah, Atlantic City is like, so the expressway is about half an hour from my Parkway exit. So it's about 40 minutes from me. And then the expressway, it's about another 10 minutes before you hit the convention center. So now my only question is, are they going to give me a full table there? If they're not going to give me a full table, as much as I would like to be at all of the events for the national, I might not make all of it. My daughter wants to try out for the national team. Hey, she starts every game and bats cleanup for the team. So I'm going to assume that she's got a pretty good chance of making it. And they have a PGF tournament in Florida the week of the national. And that's going to be, we're going to be coming off of her national for softball. I don't even know what Ellie's doing. I feel like Ellie's almost ready to consider retirement. But no, the older one, we had some issues with the team this year. And unfortunately, it's the same issue that has plagued her every time she's played. You know, I learned a lot about what goes on with kids' sports at all different ages because of all the experiences she went through. So, did I say Florida? I thought I said California. And I don't know where in California. The PGF tournament. So their nationals are in Delaware for U-Trip. No. I mean, actually, our team does have. So here's the thing: they generally don't allow parent coaches, but we do have parent coaches who have played Division I ball and are objective. So that wasn't a problem. Their core teams, they don't generally allow it. There's some teams that kind of I don't want to say lease the name, but like, not necessarily a top level team. I've seen that happen, but usually if they're qualified, then it's okayed. We have parents who coach teams that their kids are not on. Like one of Ellie's teammates' parents coaches the other 10U team, so that kind of happens. But generally, no. Our team's kind of an exception, but I mean, we have several of the mothers were Division I ball players too. So, oh, that's cool. That name rings a bell. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I think that would be an awesome experience. Like, it's not something you can do all the time with a 10U, but they're only going to do one tournament. So, I guess very pricey when they're older and they're doing those tournaments over and over. It was definitely an experience. The first showcase tournament we went to, unfortunately, we didn't get the good part of the experience. So, and that was the point where Ellie's like, I'm done with this. I just hope she doesn't completely lose her passion for the game, because she is an extremely talented player and could probably be a starting catcher on like 95% of the New Jersey travel teams. I know it gets really competitive in, like Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, California. Um, but I mean, around here, there's, like I said, I think she could start on like 95% of the teams out there. So yeah, we did one tournament with a team that probably shouldn't have been up there to begin with, because it wasn't the group that was originally supposed to go. Yeah, but she's had this experience now where, like, just before it was kids' parents, but this time it was kind of a coach's favorite, and there was no reason why she shouldn't have been starting, and she was benched, like not even hitting. And she goes to this tournament, and these 14U girls that most of them shouldn't have been in a showcase to begin with. And I'm not saying that to offend any. I'm like, I know my kids' strengths and weaknesses, and I have no problem saying this has got to be worked on. This is an issue. Her overhand arm strength was always her downfall, but she was so fast catching that her speed would make up for she at that tournament she threw out a runner at third like by a mile, and then had two close plays at second that it was just they slid under the tag. And if she were a little bit faster on her arm speed, overhand speed, she would have had him dead to rights, like a mile or two. I'm talking about 1 mile or 2 per hour. Like they're just bang bang plays. And you have somebody else who can't even pop up. How do you play that? No arm, not no arm. not much of a difference between their arm speeds. And I think Ellie's was actually quicker on the pop-up because the other girl was kind of bigger. And just getting up exerted so much energy that, like, pickoff plays at first twice in the same tournament. And meanwhile, Ellie's getting reamed out for, like, I'm like, why is she even getting reamed out? She did the right thing. Like, she made a decision to hold the ball at a certain time, and it was actually the right time to do it because she knew that the play wasn't going to get completed. And they got bumped into the 16U division. So they got one hit. Guess who got the only hit in the game? Went 1 for 2, right? The other game that they played was a very good 14U. Like, these are elite teams that they're playing against. They had no business that one team going there. The other team should have been there. But she didn't want to play on the national team. She just wasn't that into the college part of it. She just wanted to play good competition. And the middle team that was supposed to be a regional team never got formed. So half of them were on the national team, not playing and spending all that money. And the other half were on this team that wasn't a regional team. It was like built to be a local team with a few regional players on it. She's the only one who hit 16U pitching, and I'm talking like, these were good teams. Like, there is one team there that came from California, from Canada. And that's right. Most of the girls are there to go in that program to go to college. And she got sat down the next day. She did not hit at all. And she came in defensively because the other girl got hurt. Because she couldn't handle the kind of pitching that was there. And she actually swung at a ball and she hit it hard right off of her knuckle. Like, and her hand was all swollen up, so she couldn't catch anymore the rest of the day. The next day, she's benched again for the first game. They actually had a little bit of a coaching shortage, and one coach saw her split a game with the other girl. Only saw them play once. Took the other girl out of the lineup, put my daughter in a cleanup. But by then it was too late. She was already upset. And unfortunately, like, locally here, there's a lot of daddy ball. And it was like, I think it just got to the point where enough was enough. I'm tired of being overlooked. I'm not in this for a scholarship. I want to play. And then you got, again, everybody, I love coaching, right? I stopped coaching because I wanted to give something even better than I can do. I'm a good hitting instructor, but I couldn't give Ellie that she needed, even though I caught. I mean, I just played Little League, I wasn't like into this, A-level ball stuff. She got a lot better instruction there. Unfortunately, there was some negative effects, and she's a different mentality. Lexi is she's a honey badger, I mean, she didn't catch the ball, but she made this diving play just to stop the ball from rolling into the widest gap in the outfield, right? She plays second base. And one of the girls from the other team said, oh, I want to talk to that girl at the end. So at the end of the game, she was like, that was a really nice play. Good job, And, she loves that kind of stuff. She'll put her body on the line. She loves diving for balls. And she's also, she's more social. So, when you're unhappy about, like my older daughter, you're unhappy about the situation that you're in and you don't really talk a lot, it's hard to bond with your teammates, especially that team wasn't doing a lot of bonding. This other team, a little bit. And when we travel, I'm sure they're going to have a blast. We did last year. So, and I think there was a lot more connection on my younger daughter's team than this other team that had just gotten thrown together. And there was 18 girls. And 4 of them, what we'll say, I don't know, were accepted into this regional team that was supposed to be like not the national team, so not traveling to Oklahoma, to Florida, to Texas. But, you'll go to Virginia, you'll go to Maryland, you'll go to Florida once in a while. You'll Carolinas maybe once, And that would have been what the spring season looked like. And she likes to travel. She comes with me to the card shows. She don't like card shows, although if I buy her Funko stuff or something like that, she's cool with that. She wants her Starbucks. She gets her pay, right? I do pay her for it. It's kind of, teenager of the family wages, but yeah. See, we that program kind of gets rid of that issue with the daddy ball. Again, I know there was one father who coaches like one of the higher elite teams, but he's for the older girls, but he's fully qualified too. Again, the mom that we have coaching, her daughter's a phenomenal pitcher. She's clearly the ace on a team, but we have a lot of good pitching talent. Lexi doesn't even get to pitch on that team. She kind of drops down to the lower level team to get some innings in, just because we have so much talent at pitching on that team. That team's ridiculous. She wants to move up to 12U next year, even though she's 10U eligible again. See you later, Mike. And I don't know how that's going to affect her as a pitcher. I know as a player she can handle it. See, but the team split. She didn't want to do all national tournaments. She didn't want to do that travel. And I don't blame it. I knew that wasn't the route she'd want to go. Like Lexi would be all for it. I knew Ellie is different with that. No. So softball still really relies on the 2-year system, but U-Trip does have they won't do like ABC, but they will do an open in the middle. So they'll do like a 9 open, 10 ABC, USA Select, of course, and then they'll do 11 open, 12 ABC, 13 open. So you have the thing is, at least in New Jersey, you don't have very many A-level teams. And that just comes with the weather, the availability for facilities. You don't have a lot of A-level teams. There's literally there's 2 teams that daughter, right? Number 3, not number 1. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the 2 dogs. Number 3, there's 2 teams that I think that they're going to be up against a lot of times. in U-Trip tournaments, but I think one team is going to be like the rival, and that's the team we tied last night. We got a record of 1-2-2 against them. Really just one bad loss that I wasn't even there for that tournament. I think I was at a show, and they just kind of didn't have it that day. But, I mean, they play, close games, obviously with 2 ties out of 5 games. And other than that one bad game, I mean, they're pretty much dead even. So I think they're going to have a good rivalry going in. I wouldn't be surprised if they're seeing each other, high up the chain at Nationals either. There's some A teams out there. Again, last year they competed against a couple A-level teams and they did well. They won one game. One game was really close. And then the other one, it was the first time that they'd ever played 3 days in a row. And I think they were kind of done at that point. Plus, they all went out onto Ocean City, Maryland, and a lot of them were enjoying themselves, as kids should do. They really didn't have much expectations going into the tournament. I actually was not prepared to stay a third day, and I was like, I guess we're staying another night. We sat literally. We were later in the afternoon, but there were still 2 games after us. Yeah, and like Nationals last year was during Ellie's birthday. So we kind of broke curfew and we were at the amusement park, but she was still hitting like a boss, so it didn't matter. That was the important thing. It's kind of why we broke curfew. It was so hot. Like literally, the owner of the organization had a heat issue. And there were players that had heat issues. One had to get carried off the field. She just kind of collapsed. It was so hot, especially on those turf games. But it is what it is. And they were expecting a big storm on Sunday. So they changed all the schedules to all the games. So normally it's kind of advantageous when you're winning. And what happened was it actually made the schedule more difficult for the teams that were winning and advancing on. And their games were further apart. Like, I guess it should have been like, the first day, everybody's kind of all over the place. And then the second day, you kind of, the lower brackets would play in the morning and the older brackets, I guess, would play in the afternoon, I think was the way it was supposed to go. But then it was like, all right, you got the late afternoon game and then the early morning game the next day. And it's like, WTF, what's going on? So, yeah. But, I mean, she had such a positive experience coming out of there. And, she really, showed something because here she is on an A-level team and they were putting her in a cleanup position. And then the next thing she's not playing. And these girls are like C-level girls, most of them. Some were B, but most of them were C. And that was tough. I get it. That's why when she said she didn't want to play on the team anymore, I was like, all right, take 2 weeks to think about it. Normally I would have been like, no, you're committed to this team and you're going to stay there through the whole thing. I'm just going to bail out on a team that, you played for the organization last year and you're going to bail out 2 months in. But this was kind of the older one. So the younger one, it was kind of the other way around. Their team was all screwed up, but there was a core of us that were like, we're going to ride it out and we're going to see what happens. Especially I had the older one in. So, and my and my littler one was playing 2 years ahead. Well, technically 1 year ahead, but she lost the 1 year because of COVID. But she still qualified as an 8U player, but we couldn't find anything at U. So she tried out for 10U. They didn't have a lot of girls to begin with, so she made it. But I mean, she's one of the core girls on that team. I would probably, like base. I always say baseball IQ, but softball IQ, like she was ahead of some of the girls that were on Ellie's team for the 2 months this year. Like way ahead. So and you see that happens. That's why there's different levels. I mean, this is a team that's like a borderline A team. For New Jersey, they're an A level team, Lexi's team. Yeah. So even though she's, I don't want to say on the smaller side, but when you're younger, you do, you're on the smaller side, but she's not like, she's not like the big catcher build like Ellie. She's what you would expect for a second base size. That's why I said that's your second position, and pitching wise, part of it's my fault. Pitching lessons are expensive, and we had somebody who's a good instructor. I mean, we're talking about 10U. You don't need to spend $60 for half an hour. So we had somebody who was $15 for the hour, and it's a local coach, and I liked what he was teaching, and she was picking up what he was putting down. Of course, it's also tough when you don't have an indoor facility to take the pitching lessons at. So, and also you're juggling all these different schedules. So she hasn't had a lesson in a few months. That's a little long. But she got to pitch in some games, and in 6 innings, and that's the thing. She hasn't given up a hit. She pitched 6 innings, hasn't given up a hit. I think I have her numbers here. She has 1 win. What is it? Because I game changer for her regular team, not for the other one. I don't even know if they use game changer. Let's see here. It was on here somewhere. Oh, that's not it. Here it is. So yeah, 6 innings pitched. 14 strikeouts, 16 walks. There's a problem. I use a new game changer. I like it a lot better. A little more flexibility when something throws a wrench into the plans. So 6 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, 16 walks. So she's given up 6 earned runs. And but it is what it is. She hit a couple batters too. Yeah. So, she's got to work on her control, but she's got time. But if I think she's grown enough to handle the 12U ball, we don't worry about it. That helps you out the next at bat, yeah. Actually, I think both times she hit a girl, it was more bony hit than fleshy hit. So no, but she's not wild in the sense that she's like all over the place. Like the catcher would have difficulty catching it. It's usually a high low thing. Like it's not even low; it's more high than anything else. Her release point. She releases a little late sometimes. So when she's in a groove, she's in a groove. When she's inconsistent, she's inconsistent. But that's the fun of the game. Yeah. With softball, as they get older, that doesn't become an issue because of the way that they throw the ball. Like a screwball is a normal pitch for a softballer. So, and then you have like the rise ball, which you don't have in baseball because of the arm motion. So, yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Well, in baseball, yeah, early is going to give you the high balls, and softball late is going to give you the high risers. So, but I don't know, hopefully, I don't know. I might just have to watch some YouTube videos and make some sense of it. Ellie's not using her shin guards. I'll just put them on. I don't know. I just bought them too. And hundreds of dollars in uniforms. And I don't think Lexi's ever going to get that big. She may get as tall as Ellie is. She'll get as tall as Ellie is now. Although I think Ellie's still got a ways to grow with based on the size of her feet. But I don't know if she'll ever even fit into those uniforms. But, I mean, honestly, I think if we stay in Jersey and this team never really has any major, fracturing or splintering, then, this is a team that she could play with all the way until she does get a scholarship somewhere. Yeah, but she's not interested. That was a little bit of an issue with Ellie too. Like I wanted to get her overhand speed a little bit faster, and then she'd give me shit about the drills that I would have her do. She was always attentive and receptive to Coach Dad, which most girls aren't. Like from all the teams that I've been on as a coach and a father, a lot of girls give their dad shit, and she didn't give it to me, and then she started giving it to me. So, yeah, but she gets upset like, oh, Lexi pitches wild. Oh, she's not as fast. Because Ellie was catching girls that were throwing like, 50 miles an hour, 55, 58. I mean, they're throwing hard, And Lexi throws like 38. So she's got good movement, though. I love the movement on her pitches. My shins don't, but she's got good movement. So I definitely don't want her to give up the pitching just to move up with the team, but I don't know if the other team doesn't get too heavy into U-Trip and they just play USA, then her ranking in one organization doesn't matter for the other. But she wouldn't be able to play down an age level in U-Trip because she would have to move up a level And I don't know what's going to happen after this year. They may tell that team, first year 12s, you're still going to be Bs because of the organization's history. They may even fight, him over being, well, you might have to do 11-0, but that wouldn't work because they got girls of all different ages too. I don't know. I guess it would work because nobody's too old to play this year. So I don't know. That's the trouble with Jersey. It's pretty rough from my experience in my county, the county below us. It's just it's tough. So yeah, well, like I said, we got some younger. Just moved to Florida. Believe me, that's been thought about. But I don't know. Hurricanes and cardboard don't mix either, And alligators like to eat pugs. I would think they'd be a tasty snack. But yeah, I'm not too thrilled with New Jersey lately. I think we already went through that part. Yeah, well, shoot. We got slammed by Sandy, so I get that. But yeah, it's not so bad down there, at least from visiting down there. Like when things were like really strict in Jersey, we went down to Florida for a tournament for Ellie, and we're like, we don't want to leave. We could just walk into a store and it didn't matter. Even no shirt, no service. They don't care. And I don't think we do well in Montana. I don't think you get good enough high-speed internet access. So yeah. So I don't know. I got a lot of things to take care of tomorrow. So I think I'm actually due to take my NyQuil now. I was gonna work till 3:00. So I think that's how we're gonna finish up tonight. I don't know. I sound coherent, so they might be enjoying listening, or they might have fallen asleep while watching too. It's always a possibility. I had one customer tell me that I guess his wife would bust his chops a little bit less when he was in a break that I was doing, and that for some reason my voice was soothing and she went to sleep. I didn't know whether to be insulted or not, but I took that as a compliment. Not today, not the way I sound today, but it's like, I'm Dr. Fraser Crane and I'm listening. I don't know. All right. So tomorrow's another day. Have a good night, and we'll rip you a new one soon. Take care.